In the Gospel of today, Jesus spoke to the crowds and to his disciples, saying, "The scribes and the Pharisees have taken their seat on the chair of Moses. Therefore, do and observe all things whatsoever they tell you, but do not follow their example, for they preach but do not practice." And further down the passage, Jesus says, "You have but one teacher, and you all are brothers. You have but one master, the Christ. The greatest among you must be your servant, and whoever exalts himself will be humbled, but whoever humbles himself will be exalted." And while praying with this passage of today, I realized, or a phrase came to me, saying that everybody wants to be somebody, but sometimes our attitudes and our actions makes us to be nobody. Jesus tells us today to listen to the teachings of the Pharisees because they are in a position of authority. They teach us what has been handed down to them from Moses, but yet not to follow their examples because they do not practice what they preach. And he goes on to say that you have only one teacher, one master, the Christ. Now, Jesus Christ, who teaches and puts into practice whatever he preaches. Jesus, who lived a life that is authentic, a life that is coherent. Now, isn't that just attractive? That we all want to live an authentic life. And so for me, Jesus is our teacher who orients and who teaches us the values of life, to be somebody great in his eyes, to live a life that is authentic and humble. The one who humbles himself is the one who brings hope and peace in the world, who brings joy and who lifts the others up. I remember a message from Pope Francis, he says that whenever we look down on somebody, it is not to devalue them, but it should be that we stretch out our hands to lift them up to life. As we just celebrated All Saints' Day, the saints were great people, not because they were doing fantastic things, but because they fixed their eyes and their hearts on Jesus, the teacher, who guided them to live the ordinary extraordinary, to live a life that is coherent to the teachings of Jesus. And so let us ask Jesus, our teacher today, how can we live a great life that is authentic, humble, and coherent according to your teachings?